What's up guys? I'm excited to bring you this boat tour today. Now before we get to the tour, I just want to quickly mention something, and it's something that I've learned over the years, and that's that boat owners are very opinionated, especially sailors. And this boat that I'm about to show you is a common boat. It's a Hunter. It's going to be a 2006 Hunter 46 LE. Pretty standard boat. But I wanted to kind of address something that I've seen over the years, and that is, for some reason, there's a lot of hate towards Hunters, more so than really any other boat brand that I have come across. Now, I'm really curious as to why this is, and certainly I have my own opinions, and we're going to get to those at the end of the video. We're going to discuss it a little bit more, but first, let's go ahead and get to the tour. Stepping aboard and taking a quick glance at the cockpit, but we are going to go forward first. So looking forward. Nice big side decks. Looking up the rig. This is a B&R rig, so it is actually backstayless. It has swept spreaders. That eliminates the need for the backstay. Nice clean looking deck. Walking up to the bow, we've got nice big chain locker with a windlass that is below the cover there, which is a good thing. Keeps the deck clean, looking aft. I do have to say, aesthetically, this boat is a little more pleasing than other Hunters that I've seen. Because this boat doesn't have a backstay, the shrouds here are pretty thick. It's got to take both the lateral and longitudinal forces, so that makes sense. Going into the cockpit from the port side. Got davits off the back. Nice dinghy. Got seating on the stern rail. I always like to see that. Sugar scooped transom. And the seat here opens up so you can remove this if you want and walk right out into the water. Multiple different cockpit lockers. Ample storage here in the cockpit. Definitely a very roomy cockpit for an aft cockpit boat. All of your sailing lines are coming back to the cockpit here, and there is an in-mast furler as well, so everything you need to sail the boat is right here. Going down below, this is a massive companionway hatch. The staircase down is a very slight incline. It's not very steep at all. Easy to walk down below. And then you get down here and you have a pretty roomy boat. This is something that Hunter does very well. They're good at making boats comfortable and livable with lots of room down below. We're going ahead and taking a look at the galley here. We've got a nice L-shaped galley. Gimbaled stove, nice area to brace in a seaway. Cold storage. More cold storage. Island sink right there. And we've got our first aft cabin here. Double berth. Nice roomy port side aft cabin. Lots of clothes storage. You've got generator access down here. The engine is going to be forward of the generator. Forward-facing nav station, and we've got a full head here with a separate shower. Got cockpit cushions in there, so you can't necessarily see the shower, but it is there. Walk-through head as well, so you can access it from the starboard side aft cabin or from the saloon. And now we are in the starboard side aft cabin. Nice double berth. More clothes storage. Head access. And walking forward. Here's that forward-facing nav station again. And the main saloon. Nice big main saloon. Lots of space for guests to sit. Got our info sheet. And forward of that main saloon is the, I wouldn't even call this a fee berth. I would call this a forward cabin. It's just massive. I think it's wider than a king. And looking aft. Tons of room. Got your own head up here. It's electric with a bidet. This is what I would consider the main cabin. And then a separate shower on the starboard side here. Really nice. Going back aft. Nice big roomy boat. And here is the engine access. Just really, really good engine access. And the generator is right behind it.
Alright guys, I am standing in the forward cabin and it is time for the full continuous below decks walkthrough from bow to stern.
Looking forward. Turning aft. We are in the forward cabin right now. There's the forward head. Forward shower. I do like that they're split like this. That means someone can be using the head while someone else is showering. That's nice. Going aft. Again, just comfortable, roomy, lots of storage, lots of places to relax. Proper forward-facing nav station. Nice big L-shaped galley. Here is our second head or our day head. The starboard aft cabin. And then going through the galley here. Nice
big galley. That'll lead us to the port side aft cabin. And you know, I think I realized why I like the layout of this boat so much. Even though it's an aft cockpit, it's almost laid out like a center cockpit.
Alright guys, so after that tour, I actually enjoyed that boat probably more so than I thought I was going to. Now, what it had going for it was the fact that it is really big for its size, right? So it's got a lot of room down below, a really good layout, and it offers a lot of accommodation for its length. And hunters generally provide a lot of accommodation for their price tag. Now this particular boat needed some work on the exterior teak, but everything else was in pretty good shape. But anyway guys, let's talk about hunters, and I'm curious to see what you guys think about them in the comments down below. So feel free to leave a comment about what you think about Hunter as a general boat brand. Now let me preface my opinions about Hunters with saying that this isn't the first Hunter that I've been aboard. I've been aboard a few Hunters and I've actually sailed them as well. They actually kind of have a special nostalgic place in my heart because I learned to sail and I ended up falling in love with sailing aboard a Hunter 36. It seems like whether you're on the internet or whether you're in person, there is a decent amount of hate that goes towards Hunters, and I don't really understand it, and I'm not sure that it's really justified. Mainly what you hear is that, you know, Hunters are bad boats for whatever reason. And I think that that's predicated on the fact that they're not necessarily the best boats to go offshore with. You know, it's not really a boat brand that builds boats to go around the world on. Keeping in mind that most people that buy sailboats aren't sailing around the world. They're sailing on weekends or for a week here and there, or maybe they're going coastal cruising, they're doing some Caribbean hopping. All that a Hunter is great for. What Hunters are great at doing is they seem to offer a lot of boat for its length, and they offer a lot of accommodation with good interior layouts and exterior layouts for their length and their price tag. And the interesting thing about it is I don't think I've ever talked to an owner of a Hunter that didn't like their boat. So like I always say on this channel, every single boat is a compromise, right? So would I buy a Hunter and go sail around the world? No, I don't think that's what they were designed to do in the first place. But if my goal was to do some coastal cruising, I would consider Hunters. And also I think it's very telling that Hunter is one of the brands that, you know, has stood the test of time. They're still around, they're still making boats. You can buy a brand new Hunter under the Marlowe Hunter name right now, and those are very nice boats. So anyway, all that being said, I definitely want your opinion as well. So if you guys have something to say about Hunters, you know, whether you love them, you hate them, you have some insight as to why you think there's hate around them, definitely leave a comment down below. Now this particular boat that I toured, I think that it would be a good price if the boat was in mint condition, and it's certainly not. So I think going into this boat, if you want to potentially purchase this boat, keep that in mind. It does need a good amount of work on the interior teak. And while I don't think that it's overpriced by a ton, I do think that if you're interested in potentially purchasing this boat, get a good survey and potentially negotiate on that price a good amount. And just to make a comment about Hunters and what they do well and what they've always done well, this is a 46-foot boat that I toured from 2006, and it feels bigger than a 46-foot monohull from 2006, right? So that's what they do well. They're comfortable coastal cruisers and they offer a lot of space. And they're really not bad sailing boats either. Like I said, I've sailed aboard them and I've had a lot of fun on them. So yeah. Anyway guys, that's going to be it for this video. I'm curious to see what you have to say about this boat in the comments below. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell if you want to know each and every time we drop a video. See you guys.
I've got it right and I got it wrong, but I learned